Hello and good evening. You're watching the Policy Times, world's first policy and development media. Since last 4.5 years, Policy Times regularly bringing to you experts from different domains, especially on education, and including education, many other sectors, to talk on the importance of the contemporary issues, the prospective solutions to those traditional challenges that we are facing, and especially post-pandemic, what kind of strategic development roadmap we need to adopt so that we as a nation achieve better development, especially post-pandemic. Education, like many other sectors, was one of the worst sufferers of the pandemic. Now, the long-term impression that the pandemic has left on education is really very deep, and there has been a lot of discussions, and there is need of many other discussions to fine-tune and develop roadmaps further. Now, today we have uh, important two speakers and also speaker come entrepreneur, and I will also invite the third speaker soon. I want to welcome and introduce Mohana Lakshmiji, who is the Regional Director of Accreditation, AIAASC, an international accreditation organization, and the South Asia Division, and also she's the chairman of Kidspreneur, a rising, promising startup promoting entrepreneurship from the grassroots school education level. With her, we have Professor M. Moni, who is the Professor Emeritus and Chairman of Chairs and CADMS at Shobit University. And we will have a couple of more speakers joining us soon. So without taking and wasting any more time, may I request and welcome Mohana. Mohana, a brief introduction of yours. And especially when we talk about the future of education, a lot has changed. Whether it is the future of jobs that are there in the market are going to be absolutely different from the jobs that we saw in the past. According to World Economic Forum report, the kind of jobs that are going to come in future are very different. The second also says that 90 or 95% of our engineers are not employable in the current format of education. So one is job. The second is also there is a rising emergence, a rise and emergence of entrepreneurship from the grassroots, which also creates a complete different kind of opportunities for our kids awaiting ahead of them. So in this complete juncture or a complete paradox, I would call it, how can a nation like India, where 40% of the population are young and youth, can make a roadmap and define the future of education, also in light of the national education policy that has been adopted by the government, so that we not only become an education hub of the world, but also train, educate our kids to make them ready for the world. And before that, a brief introduction also in 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much, Akram, for that. And I'm Mohana Lakshmi, as you said, and I'm the founder of this organization, Kidspreneur. We are a little ahead of before pandemic. We started these, and I came up with this concept in 2012 in Singapore, and I developed this whole concept in association with Singapore Ministry of Education, developed this curriculum for them actually, and then now my curriculum is being taught in Singapore, all the schools. So far about 7 lakh plus students have learned entrepreneurship and launched their startups, moved from kidspreneurs to entrepreneurs. So that's something we've been doing. And again, in India, it's been 5 years since we launched our programs. A couple of our students are out as entrepreneurs from kidspreneurs. So that's a proud moment. And we not only teach entrepreneurship, we also help them find investments for their startups. It's not just nurturing, teaching them. It's like actually helping them start their startups. No, it's not only profit making, it's also social venture. That is what a nation needs usually. Mainly, it's not only people who looks at starts business, makes profit. Other than that, we also need people who can create impact with their solution, what they bring. So that's what we try to inculcate. So I'm on a mission to help our nation and contribute back to the nation, which gave me a lot of things and which accomplished my dream. So giving it back to the country is what I'm in the journey now. So with IASC, it's been a wonderful journey being a regional director, bringing an American board to India for K-12 education, because I felt there is a huge gap in terms of the real world and our school education system. We're still following the 19th century education system, which has been designed long back, and we have not added or adopted enough innovations and a practice of inculcating mindsets to kids. Like as you mentioned, the engineers are not employable. We have very good skills in terms of employees, but are they practiced with right mindset? That's where we see a huge gap. They are very skilled, but they're not adaptable to the situations, or they're not adaptable to the challenges, and they're not looking at the problems. Rather, not there is a new method which is being followed right now. It's, if I say, design thinking, approach problem and create solution, add innovation. So these are the kind of practices we need in the education system, not only for the student, even as educators and academicians, we have to adopt to these processes so that we can see a greater change in the future. So that's what I wanted to share. And to give a little brief about me, so I did my undergrad in India, postgrad in Singapore, and I am a graduate of alumni of Howard. I'm currently pursuing my doctorate with Howard, and anytime in next 2 years, I should be completing it. But pandemic, it's been getting postponed. Soon it should be out, and trying to contribute as much as possible to the nation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mohana. You are already doing enough and huge amount of work to make the country proud. And with your Harvard degree, and also like you started recently, with that we see a huge disruption, positive disruption to the country through your startup and also through the IASC. Now I'll come to Professor Moni. Professor M. Moni, is one of the leading academician now, but coming from government in the policy making, helping India develop far better policy as, I think, Director General at National Informatics Center. Again, one of the innovator in the government, now, helping Shovid University, which is one of the booming and a very promising university based in Uttar Pradesh. Shovid University has brought a completely different kind of education model, especially to promote courses which are a little unconventional, but very relevant for the development of the nation. So I would request Professor Moni to kindly a brief introduction and then your keynote address.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Akram Heck, and also a promising kid entrepreneur. And also, it's from Singapore. Thank you very much for meeting Mohana Lakshmi and also Mr. Randir Kumar. I was the former Director General, National Informatics Center, and I was instrumental as a director, project director for 512 districts computerization way back in '87. Today, the e-governance and various aspects of IT in government, I was instrumental for the blueprint way back in 1987. And then in '95, I initiated a national program on IT in agriculture. And today, IT in agriculture in the government is once again, that is the 1987 program is called District Information System Program, 28 Sectoral Database Development Program. And in '95, it is a IT blueprint in agriculture as in the form of agricultural informatics. And from '95 onwards to 2013, I retired as Director General. Meanwhile, I was the Deputy Director General on Agricultural Informatics and e-governance and various other portfolios. I was able to travel more than 450 districts in the country. I was able to see the rural distress. And because of the simple reason that we have higher educational institution with no relevance for rural India. And whether be it an agricultural education or technical education and so on and so forth. there is no evidence-based education for the rural India, rural economy to boom, rural students to, and take interest. So as a person who was born and brought up in rural area, and way back in 1976-78, I did my MTech Computer Science from IIT Chennai. Before that, MSc Mathematics from University of Madras. Joined National Informatics Center as a systems analyst. So I thought that it is our responsibility to bring in relevant technology-enabled educational systems. So I converted all the IT projects and the projects which I was instrumental in bringing in from grassroots level, bottom-up process, I converted as an academic discipline. As a man who was involved in design development in the government systems and policymaker, when I traveled in more than 450 districts in the country, I thought that technology can bring in development and evidence-based education at the grassroots level. So Soviet University as a platform, which gave me an immediate welcome to participate, because they wanted to have, and because Uttar Pradesh is an agriculture economy based state, they wanted to have agricultural informatics as a discipline. So today we have set up 5 centers of excellence to reskill and develop entrepreneurship for rural boys and girls in 3 areas: agriculture and small and medium enterprises, industry, and health. And 5 centers of excellence: Center for Agricultural Informatics e-Governance, Center for Agribusiness Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Application, Center for Industry 4.0 Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing, to train rural boys and girls to get into technology-enabled rural economy development, to create a digital platform economy in rural area. So we have launched courses in MTech level and BTech level and diploma level with a, which is large. But once again, anything new in India, both UGC and All India Council of Technical Education cannot understand. That is the biggest problem. And but it has to come, because I have seen, and it is a long way to go for bringing in, and even though new education policy talks about it, but it will be very difficult for an IIT to understand in a village, a National Institute of Technology to understand a village, a triple IT to understand a village, and Indian Institute of Management to understand a village. That is the problem. And but we have to, it is a emerging economy, and education system has to be made for rural India. Since independence, we have seen for urban India, and it is meant for rural. That's why when Mr. Akram talked about it, I thought that let me join. The topic is a very important topic. He said it, the future of education post-pandemic. In 2016, the then education minister, Madam Smriti Irani, as an education minister, put 20 questions for school education and also college education, asked for input from panchayat level. I was asked to address a regional conference, which is motivated by NCERT, to get ideas for formulating draft for policy making. At that time, it is called New Education Policy 2015. Now it has come as to 2020. So I took the questions relevant for school education, and I was addressing as a chief guest for about 450 CBSE affiliated schools principals at Kanyakumari. I was invited there, and it's a Southern Regional Conference. I addressed that how these 14, the queries which is asked in the school education is a very relevant questions. And when the policy came, New Education Policy 2020, people who attended the conference, they said that, Professor Boni, based on your address, we have given recommendation. This policy reflects those things that, and we want smart teacher and to produce a smart student. Today teachers don't use technology. They are not technologically competent. And even though STG goals, and that one I mentioned, that there is that what should be the IT education standard for school teachers. There's no point to have an IT teacher in the school. Every teacher has to be an IT teacher, whether it is a language teacher or economics teacher. Welcome for your new entrant. You are showing the the new manager of the world.
Yeah.
And the thing is that the teachers have to be made as, every teacher has to be an IT specialist. Today what is needed is, we have one teacher for 30 students. Today we have to have one student for 30 teacher for one student, because technology provides that facilities. And rural students, because they have to understand the technique, the process, the method, and everything for them to become interested in studying technology. So the technology provides that facilities. So we have to have micro education. Why the particular student, boy or girl, is not in a position to understand this methodology? Why is not able to solve this mathematical problem? So the thing is that our success will be to generate science, technology, mathematics, engineering, management, and economics and geography to be a subject of interest to the rural students. This is where the future of education. And post-pandemic has given an opportunity for us, even though Mr. Akram said it, that 75% of the students, graduates who come out are not employable. In India, everything is a problem of plenty, whether it is a population, or it is a politics, or for a fake news, or misunderstanding, and everything is fake news. It's a problem of plenty. Then you take engineering education. Why an IIT student after BTech has to go for an MBA program along with a student from Delhi University who is doing BA, just history? An IIT student, after spending so many years from 8th standard onwards to prepare for joint and entrance exams, and then after 4 years of education, he also sit for IIM's exam, and along with the other normal graduates from any university, and to get into MBA. Is it not an anomaly in this country? And on the other day, a former director of AIIMS is saying that government spends 10 crore for an MBBS doctor, to produce an MBBS doctor from AIIMS. He is not available for the country. She is not available for the country. They go abroad. And the thing is that the future of education should be that all higher educational institutions are supposed to produce people only for India's development, not for the whole world development. If you would develop people only for $1 can be generated from India. People will come and buy our produce, our algorithms, our services, and we need not go abroad to generate dollars. So this is enormous, because today morning I was addressing a particular state has got one IIT, one IIM, one NIT, one IIIT, one central university, for example. States like Uttar Pradesh can have more numbers. Then you have state universities, state colleges, which are all UGC funded. What are they doing for the particular state's development? Why still poverty is there? Why there is no village industries? Why that, this is the digitalization is not taking place? Why till today, we don't have a data to apply AI technology and big data analytics and machine learning for grassroots level development? So the thing is that this is where I liked it, that even though I may be relevant, may not be relevant, but the thing is that this is my bone of contention. That the thing is that if our future of education is concerned, let every institute be an institute of Nalanda. It has to be in a Nalanda. We attracted people from abroad. And, today with the technology, it's very important. Today, in times of India, there is an, Mr. Jack Surya has, written in the editorial, the bottom of the editorial column. I would like to, just to mention it. It has created a lot of concern. He said it. I think, I thought it may be relevant. Out of class, with very few to teach us, Indians have had to rely on DIY education. I thought that what is DIU? What DIY? Do it yourself. And I think I can send it to all of you. And today is in Times of India, in the editorial column 3, on all the 3, 2 editorial columns today, and one more column today, Times of India, are more relevant for India's rural economy. There was an article which may be relevant. I think Mohana Lakshmi also can say that the Nobel Prize which has been given to 3 Nobel laureates. There is an article written on by an economist that it is very important. The income level rising is not going to cut the job for migrant laborers. For that only they have been given Nobel Prize. That is a very good article. And today many states have created a lot of problem for migrant workers by bringing out orders that job for locals. They are killing competition. Tirupur industry, I was listening to the news that the local people, they don't even work. And their performance and everything is based on the migrant laborers, and the people sitting outside, they create politics. So that this Nobel Prize this time, which has been given, is, that article is a very fantastic one, and people like Mr. Akram, and he should have a separate discussion talk on that, the Nobel Prize on economics. Let everybody know about it. It is a very important thing with respect to migrant laborers are concerned, because, migrant laborers, can do wonders. And, that is an important thing, that keep local politics out. And the second one is that in this article, which is being talked about it is completely, and today morning, after reading this, I was very much concerned. He say that teachers are not available. About next to 30% of the, and with the next 15 years, 30% of the educators have to be replaced. What is the action plan we have? We don't have, we have so many schools, we need it. And teachers are not available in the rural area. Even then, teachers are available even in urban area. What is the quality of the teachers we have? What is the, I don't have any, today I'm here is because of my school teachers. But the thing is that today's situation, they taught us very nicely. That's why today we are here. But the thing is, today's situations, that why the education system produce 75% of the people are unemployable. Who should be held responsible? No, parents invested money on the school institutions. and 75% of the people are, that unemployable. So I think there has to be a strong course correction. And my focus, that's why I thought that, okay, now I'm 68. I thought that let me do with my vast experience as a farmer technocrat, and also let us concentrate on this country has got 68 million small scale units, provide so much employment opportunities. But the thing is that if they are not digitally transformed, can we compete with China? Can we compete with South Korea? Can we compete with Japan? So European Union is training all the CEOs of SMEs on AI-enabled leaders. So I launched, through the university, an MBA program exclusively for CEOs of SMEs. They should know. And I was talking to the additional chief secretary and chairman of the, Tamil Nadu Industries Investment Corporation Limited, Mr. Hansraj Verma IAS. I was addressing on 26th August on TANSHIA, that is the Tamil Nadu Small and Tiny Industries Association. I introduced that. And then he was a chief guest. He has to go, and then he called for a follow-up meeting. We had it. I told him that subsidy will not make people to be digitally transformed. Yeah. Government has to walk to the people that you have to be digitally enabled. It's the government is going to work with you. We have to
make
all these
2 minutes, 3 minutes if you can conclude, sir.
Yeah. So the thing is that SMEs has to be digitally enabled with the total participation of the government. I told you that let us have an product with the Soviet University is the first university to have an MBA in Industry 4.0 program for CEOs of SMEs. And then what about the district industries officers? They don't understand technology. Every district has got a district industry managers. So let us also, train them. Let us also convert them as a digital, the evangelists. So the country has got a lot of post-COVID situation has got a lot of lessons to us. Let us be positive. Agriculture, health, and industry are very important, and all our engineers, that Atmanirbhar Bharat, 5 eyes and 5 pillars. One is that vibrant demography, 40% youths, and they have to be trained, retrained, and skilled, and entrepreneurs development through technologies and so on and so forth. And village level industries and digitally enabled village level industries have to be on ground. And anything which gets produced from a village has to come out as a processed food. The raw material should not go from places of production. Government can have the scheme, but the thing is that if a particular district is not in a position to do that, the entire district administration has to be changed. It's not only 1 or 2 heads. District administration gets a salary from taxpayers' money, family pension, their pension. It means that the district administration, if they're not able to change a particular district, the district needs to have a vibrant, technology-based administration. It has to have an economic reform at the district level. Thank you very much, Mr. Akram.
Thank you so much. Brilliant views you have expressed, and a very strong opinion also on a couple of areas. We will come back to you. I want to welcome Randhir Kumarji, who is the Dean and Training and Placement, DGP Group of College from Gurugram. So Randhirji, a brief introduction and then your remarks on the context of future of education, how your college is doing to uplift and adapt the transitional changes that the education system is observing.
Okay, thank you, Akramji, and thank you, Professor Moni and Ms. Mohana Lakshmi. A very good evening to all of you. And the topic what we are discussing, this is really very, very burning and very, very important in context of educational system of our country. And post-pandemic, definitely education system require a technology-based system. And now, if you see, we are talking about Industry 4.0 today. But the students and our kids who are inside the school now, when they will be graduating or post graduating, Industry 4.5, 4.6 will come across. So the technology based, I'm asking, I quite agree with the Professor Moni, because this is actually required at the school level. If we want to make any of the changes, changes should uh, uh, every time come from the grassroots. So our kids are in the schools. So school, they must have a upgraded technological base. First, the thing should be on the skeleton should be on the base of track should be on that of the technologies, and the what the content we are delivering to our students. Let's say a very small example. Python. It's a very simple language, technology based language. We are teaching out in the CBSE schools. Now universities has introduced 2 year back. They have introduced it at the graduation level. See the differences. Where is our graduation standard lying? What we are teaching at the school level? This is a big gap. After new educational policy, I was in the discussion with one of the vice chancellor of university named KK University, that is based at the Nalanda, Bihar, Dr. CB Reddy. So we together were defining the course curriculum for the upgraded sessions post pandemic in the university. So our common thought was there should be a course curriculum. Syllabi is the one. Second chapter should be technological, industry 4.0, 5.0, as per the level of the course standard. If students are in the UG, if students are in the school, definitely they should be prepared for the industry 5.0, 6.0. Students who are inside the graduation course, we should make them ready for the right now for the industry. We should train them. We have to make them ready for the industry. Industry 4.0 is highly required for them. Technological advancement, they have to. If you see the mechanical department, RPA technologies, mechatronics returning in the industry, we are lagging behind. In last 16, 17 years, I have spent in the Department of Training and Placements. I have seen the students from the different states. They only one big factor they are lagging behind, that is they're not able to change the industry. Industry level is, you can say at the level 8, 9, student level is their course curriculum, what they've studied inside the college at the level 3, 4. So there is a big gap. And I personally, every time, every year, I'm placing out 1,500, 1,600, 1,200 student I'm putting into the industry. Every time with every recruitment drive, two concerns come across. First, technological advancement. Second, domain knowledge. And third is what they are studying out. There is big gap. What industry is expecting from a graduate manager, graduate MBS, graduate engineers, there is a big gap in between. We have to think about. Post pandemic, something has happened that is really very positive. We'll see the B class, C class city, even in the rural areas also. I personally have seen students, they are taking classes over the, Zoom, over the Microsoft Team, Gmeet. So they learn these technologies, how to learn online. This was a very good change, I would say. Students in the rural, semi-urban, everywhere, they are studying out. But I'm quite convinced with the Professor Mani. He said the quality of the faculty members. There must be some parameters. Faculty, we have to first upgrade before training to students, before teaching to students. There must be faculty performance appraisal system inside any of the institution. If you are appraising your faculty member, there should be some changes. Let's an example. Somebody is faculty in the Department of Engineering Management. How many paper you published? How many research you have done? Technically, how much you have upgraded yourself? Every faculty has responsibility to upgrade themselves in a year, at least with the one technologies. If they will be upgraded, our student will be upgraded, because we are not training to students, we are not teaching to students, we are teaching to future of our country. So our thought should not be up to industry 4.0, I 4.0. Our projection should be industry 7.0, industry 8.0. We have to start to work from right now. So technically, Professor Moni focused, concentrated about the technology-based education. I'm quite convinced technology is lagging behind. 65% students are inside the rural and semi-urban areas. I quite convinced with the students who are studying out inside the rural areas, even government schools, government on the papers, we looked in the news everywhere, we listen, so many crores has funded to government schools, but go and see their infrastructure. Government is providing meals, midday meal and other things. Go and check how those meals are being served, how they are being preserved. A person who is graduated over by the paper, somehow they get into the job. A person who is not having exposure how to treat the students, they do not know how to handle the students, how to train to students, extra co-curricular activities. Few of the schools under the CSR activity we visited, situation was not convinced. This is our government who is spending a lot of money over these schools. Where are the monies? Where it has been spent? So there should be some supervision. And second thing, students, they should be trained over the application based technologies. When I put students over the recruitment interviews, they lag on their hands on works. They have learned the Java, they have learned the IoT, they have learned Python, they have learned analytics, but as a course, as a somewhere in the institute or coaching center, they joined, they learned, they have taken certificate. But if I ask, write a program, they're not able to write. This is a very biggest problem. So trainers should be trained first. Student must be trained, made ready for the industry, application based. Students who are 90% marks on their mark sheet, communication wise, very good. But as we come over their domain knowledge, the technical skill set, they are lying very far behind. This is a very worrying situation for our country, actually. So we have to understand, our government should have to understand, these are not students, these are future of our country. In which direction we are leading to our country? This is the actual problem. Post pandemic, the future of the education system is really good, but we have to, if we want to make it better or best, we have to adopt technological wheel everywhere. So to adopt the technology based education system, we have to train to our trainers, means our teachers. We have to make some changes in the educational policies. In new education policy, few things are really very good. Entry and exit policy during the education and post graduation. I joined engineering after class 12th, but after 1 year or 2 year, I don't liking it. I will take exit. I'll take diploma. I will move out. I'll go join any other course. There should not be any foundation. You are engineer. You have to do the engineering. till 4 years. After 4 years, because I don't want it to do, because my father has taken the admission. So,
thank you, Ranjit.
Yeah.
If you can conclude in 2 minutes.
Yeah, sure, sir. So, education definitely is a backbone of any of the country. We as an educationist, I always give the good model to students in many of the talk at our group of institution, DPG. We are based in the NCR. We are based in the heart of Gurgaon at Sector 34, that is close to Hironda Chowk. Students come from the Delhi and NCR also, from the deep Haryana also. Schooling matters. When they join the institution to different professional courses, we see the differences. We try to make it equal. We have adopted new education policy, that is one. Second, we are insisting our students for the technological advancement, learn the technologies, industry 4.0. Second, third thing, we have come up with the PSU preparations. If students are studying out in BA, BSc, BCom student, they are most likely they are attracted towards the government jobs, the public service commission jobs. Even engineers nowadays, they're cracking public service commission jobs in a bunch, in a good numbers. So we have planned, we will train to our students, we will not only teach them for the degree, we will make them ready for the jobs, not only corporates, but also for the government jobs. If the good candidates will come into the action of the government operations, definitely education system will improve, our country condition will improve, our future will again improve. So we have to work over the current students who are with us. So this is all about what I feel. If there should be some implementation in the current education system, technology advancement, industry 4.0, not only should be in the consideration industry, why we are not considering industry 7.0 for the students who are inside the schools, who are in the class 4, 5, 6. We should train them. We have to think for those students who are inside the school.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Akramji. Thank you, Ms. Mohana. Thank you, Professor Moni. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So let us quickly now, I'll not repeat, many important points came out, but let us have a quick closing remarks from each of our speakers, maybe in maximum 2 minutes, within 1 to 2 minutes. So starting with Mohana, your closing remarks and a couple of suggestions or policy recommendations you may have for policymakers at the state level or central level, or for the educators.
Yes, that was wonderful listening to Mr. Professor Moni and Mr. Ranjit Kumar. Thank you for sharing a lot of insights about the real-time. With Professor Moni's talk, I understood the rural scenarios, because even I've been traveling down south in Tamil Nadu, as mentioned, Tirupur, Kanyakumari, Shivagasi, because these are the biggest industrials I've visited. I've taught students there. I've met engineering students, arts colleges students, and I also taught the kids K-12 education. So what I feel, as Mr. Radhir Kumar said, when the students enter the transformation from school to the college, that's where the crucial period is. So at school level, we need to introduce the project-based learning methodology, the PBL methodology. It's not only they learn the subject, or for example, we learn formulas in mathematics, but are we knowing where to use that formula in real life? If you ask me, even I would not know all the things. So why can't our education system can approach in a project-based learning methodology? So any subject can be taught in the way handling the project. At the same time, you address all the subject related to that task. So that's the best way to do, because a lot of countries have adopted it and it has been a successful methodology already. So that's with the PBL for K-12 to address the student transformation from school to college. So when coming to educators, testing the knowledge, upgrading them, I had a very interesting experience with one of the kidspreneur. If time permits, I'll just try to tell that very quickly. I'm really sorry about it. Kids, the boy is actually 12 years old, right? So when we were brainstorming for the startup ideas, so he was okay. So when we were brainstorming for startup ideas, kids come up with different problems they face. We start with their problems. So this student said, "Ma'am, I'm very happy about my school and my curriculum. I come here to learn. I love learning. But end of the day, the teachers who teaches me is not upgraded. They're giving us examination to test our levels. But is there an examination to test the teacher's knowledge?" So he proposed a startup idea to be called Teacher's Knowledge Test. So every year the teacher has to take this test in order to teach that particular class. So if the teacher scores, depends on the scores, he suggested the government should pay the salary to them instead of paying the standard salary, so that they have the urge to upgrade, practice, bring the best out of themselves. It was a student from Chennai who was just 12 years old, in grade 7, and he has proposed his idea, and we were really happy because he is able to find out the problem and he's also coming out with a solution. So the natural instinct and the natural ability, or the entrepreneurial mindset, we call it, it is there with the kids. But our rigorous education, the academic system is kind of like fades it slowly with competitive examinations, scores, marks. So if we can maybe nurture the natural instinct in them, that will be the greatest asset we can give it to our future, a future of a country in terms of teachers and kids. When it comes to industry, yes, at a point when students enter the colleges and start with their the fear of placing themselves under pressure from the societal, the peer and the societal pressure. Oh, you joined engineering, but he is not interested in pursuing. But the peer pressure and the societal pressure is making him pursue the course without interest, without having that passion. So if we can give them that space to decide from the grade 8 onwards, giving them as much as exposure to technology, other skills and other opportunity like AI, machine learning, languages, and a lot of other futuristic jobs, then he has like 4 years time to get exposure and decide himself where he wants to enter, with a kind of set of evidences to prove to his parents or the teachers or the ones who are suggesting them to choose the program. That would be the great way to take them forward, or help them pave their base. So these are the few suggestions I thought would be helpful, and we kind of already working on these streams. We have Kidspreneur, we have architecture, where we teach architecture and interior designing related courses to the children. And again, we have automobile, we introduced that, and we have kid archaeology program. And we are also working on a curriculum for kid doctor, because I've met a lot of medicine student who has started doctor programs, but in the year of second or third year, they kind of no, this is not something I was thinking I would be doing. No, I'm really not happy with what I'm doing, and I don't have any other choice. I cannot quit. Again, I cannot pursue. So to avoid these, if we can give them exposure in the K-12 level of different subjects and different opportunities available, it will equip them, again, give them a better clarity in the future to move forward. So these are the few suggestions I wanted to share.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Professor Moni, your remarks.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Short, maybe two
Hello?
minutes. Yeah, let us keep it short. Within 2 minutes, it would be really good. In bullet point.
Very nice. One is that with my vast experience, now I'm concentrating on rural economy, how to make this vibrant demography to get into the national stream. One is that's why in agriculture sector, I have been promoting agricultural polytechnics and agriculture ITIs. And it is essential because 365 days, India has got sunshine, more than 400 commodities, livestock and fisheries, and we have to convert as an agricultural value system. We need a lot of boys and girls through agricultural polytechnic and agriculture ITIs, and agricultural colleges cannot come down to the grassroots level. So this is an educational future of education is essential. Second one is that health. So health is, I have been voicing for the last so many years that we have to go for, that even 85% of the disease which we get come from animal. COVID is one such situation. Allopathy and veterinary animal health doesn't talk to each other. And I have been voicing as a health informatics network value chain. Integrated approach as a chairman of the two subcommittees of doubling farmers' income, volume 11 and volume 12B. Volume 12B talks about digital technology in agriculture, 7 mission node project. All the students of any engineering college or non-engineering colleges have to, with the technology, should be trained on this 7 mission mode digital technology for agriculture. It's essential. After which one is that integrated health management system on human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fish health. If the soil is not healthy, soil, these molecules is control the, metabolism of human cells, plant cells, and animal cells. It's very important. So soil has to be healthy. Soil has to have a nutrient to have a nutrient in harvested food, which reduces human health, human diseases. So the thing is that, this health informatics network value chain with biology students getting into data analytics of health data, human health data, animal health data, soil health data, plant health data, water health data, and fish health data. It is $1 trillion economy, which I want India should take advantage. And till now, there is no plan of action. I have been trying. My university has now, put it as an MSc and BSc Health Informatics program, +2 students. And also we put it, 50% of the students will be girl students because they understand biology much better. So let us train them with artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data analytics on +2 students biology, on BSc biology, health informatics, and BSc biology students on MSc health informatics. It is $1 trillion economy. India should take a lead. And agriculture polytechnic and agriculture ITIs and industry 4.0, industry 5.0, industry 6.0, and it's very important. I think Mr. Randir Kumar, you raised it. I'll tell you, I sent a note through the Chancellor of the University. When the WhatsApp issue, I will take 1 more minute, Mr. Akram, it's very important. That some of the former secretaries to Government of India asked me, Professor Moni, you are a former DGNIC, you are one of the hardcore technocrat. What is your view with respect to WhatsApp issues? Actually, it's a free app. If people don't like it, they can delete from their smartphone. But why India is not in a position to, then they asked me, please prepare a note. It has gone through the Chancellor to PMO, Defense Minister, IT Minister, Education Minister. There are 4 strategic digital assets the country has to have it, because India is an IT superpower. We produce people for others, but we have so many institutions, NIT, IIT, triple ITs, and engineering colleges. We don't have a streaming software. We don't have an email system. 75% of the traffic in Gmail goes from India. And then you don't have a messenger. So, and Government of India banned 220 Chinese apps 1.5 years back. How many institutions have brought out similar apps in India? So I said it in my note, the strategic need for digital assets and for our youths to become a millionaire, the government has to come out with state-of-the-art data centers in the country. Should be freely available for them to upload. And depending upon the download of their apps, they should become a millionaire. Why should they go to Google? Why should they go to Facebook? Why should they go to LinkedIn? And it has to be flooded with state-of-the-art data centers for our youths to put their apps on Indian soil with the 22 constitutionally recognized languages, so that let them become millionaire. Second is that we have to have an email software which can facilitate 22 constitutionally recognized languages, and then video streaming software and messenger. This note has gone, and this is what will make digitally self-reliant. So we have to have, open innovation, seizing the opportunities for open innovation and value creation network in digital era for self-reliant India, Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I conduct 2 webinar series as a senior citizen and a former secretary. One on Thursday, 11 o'clock. Mohana, you can also watch every Thursday at 11 o'clock Indian Standard Time. I'm completing this week by tomorrow, 50th edition. Started on 18th August 2020. On Saturday, 11:30, international webinar series on open source digital technology towards self-reliant India. That is also going to be 49th edition by this Saturday. All NRIs are participating it. I thought that all technocrats, scientists who are all in the senior citizen category, they should come forward, use their internet, use their laptop, motivate students in the rural area, urban area. They will be the biggest institution to bring their expertise to the students to become as an entrepreneur, and they can be, they may not even join educational institutions. We ourselves are, institution. This is my request, and all technocrats, scientists, and bureaucrats who are now in the senior citizen category, they have a laptop, they have an internet, they should make rural, youths as an entrepreneur. They should take the country forward. And depending upon the bureaucrats and the other, government systems, they are making facilities, their enablement, but we also have to have our role to play because technology facilitates. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Ranjit, quick closing remarks.
Yeah, sure. So on the concern of remarks over the education system post-pandemic, my remarks is industry should also take the responsibility for the education in our country, especially those industries who are not Indian, who are multinationals. They are working good, they are earning good, they are doing good business in our country. So they should also have to bear, wherever they are situated, at least they have to take the responsibility of 10 districts, 5 districts. In many ways they can, by their health aspects of the students, by their educational aspects of the students, their stationery, their technological advancement, their electronic gadgets, they can facilitate. So we all have to come together. On the same time, technical institutions who are in the nearby area of the, especially in the semi-urban and villages area, they should also take the responsibility to train time to time to their nearby school students, they were societal students in many ways. So nowadays, a big gap between, we talk about IITs, NITs, and good engineering institution, universities, group of institution, but how many among them are taking the responsibility for their society, nearby society students? So technically, we have to. Point 2, we all have to focus over the student or who are inside the schools, because when they will come in the graduation, industry 4.0 will automatically be converted into 5.0 or 6.0. So we have to plan their education with the projection of industry 5.1.5, I.5, I.6, I.7 as per their level. So we have to think right now, then and only then we will be able to chase after 7 year, 10 years. When they will join graduation, they will come out from the post graduation. And last and small point is, we very often blame to government. Government cannot work everywhere in every street. we as an responsible citizen of the country, we also have to bear some good responsibility towards the upcoming generations. Technological knowledge, this is good. You are having a smartphone in your hand. How you're using? This is a concern. Our kids, many of the games they're spending a number of times, but they're not using for their studying, for their learning. This is a gap. We have to motivate our students. We have to counsel our students from school to college level. This is electronic gadget. This can make your career better. So this is a gap. So I feel your student must be counseled over the right use of the technologies, right use of electronic gadgets, what you are having in your hand. If you see in the rural areas also, every even 12 years kid, 15 years kid, they are having very good smartphone in their hand. So we have to, it's our duty to make them realize this is not only electronic gadget for watching the movies, videos and games. This you can use for shaping your career, for your learning purpose. This is our responsibility as well as schools.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So excellent. I felt a little guilty because this is Mohana's daughter's time, and she has been forced to stay in this platform for this long discussion. But thank you also again for the passion, for your love for education, and also the kind of work that you are doing. I will not repeat all the points that you have shared, but I think Professor Moni and Randirji and Mohana's passion and views also reflect what all we need to do in this country. And if we all collectively come together, I think we can achieve a lot. So thank you. Keep watching the Policy Times.